This is RacingRant's preview of Canterbury, 14th of June, and I'm on my own, as you will notice. It's a relatively attractive winter card. The rail is out 3 metres, which changes things around from last Wednesday, where we saw a number of horses advantaged by racing rails in run. I think the 3 metre position and the subsequent 6 metre position are rails that allow horses to sit wider and do better. So my forecast is for middle draws, and perhaps one off is the place to be tomorrow. We kick off with an 1100 metre 2-year-old race, and the favourite is Piracy, recently gelded at $3.50. Tiamo down the bottom is $4.60. Star Galaxy unraced Snowden is $5. $7.50 Noviero, $8 Stone, who's a stablemate of the favourite. $15 Catsby, $13 Just Gorgeous, and long odds the other couple. Piracy has shown good pace in his 2 runs to date, but retired right out of the race. He obviously gets well forward from his wide gate. I imagine that Noviero with Hieronymus and trained by Gay is on speed. Just Gorgeous, another Gay runner, will race handy, and Tiamo should use her draw to be just behind the speed. Star Galaxy is, as I mentioned, an unraced Snowden runner that's won her 2 trials in sound fashion. Kay McAvoy to ride, and I think she's the starting point simply because she's Snowden. She's like, that's the reliable position to start. Obviously Piracy is a key to the race, given that he's shown talent, but at the same time been unable to convert that talent. He looks to have trialled up. Tiamo is another one that has displayed talent but not been seen to advantage. She ran into Debonlairly on debut, and then she set outside the lead in a race here at a night meeting, finally going across the Tasman to the Karaka race and running near last, but she has returned well as evidenced by her 2 short course trials. They look to be the key runners. Obviously Noviero is a horse of interest because Gay trains, and he has shown some ability in his trials. His most recent hit out was in a very fast heat won by his stablemate Hualalai, and sitting wide, finishing midfield was not necessarily a disgrace in reference for this. The other unraced Godolphin runners, Catesby and Stone, both look sort of tradesman-like. I noticed that the Anglin booking has been marked shorter than the other one, which may indicate something. I respect them without being able to find them. As I say, my starting point was Snowden, who's done nothing wrong. And as I say, the key to the race is Piracy. Race 2, again over the 1100, this time for 3-year-olds. $2.80 the unraced Goresbridge, who missed a run at Wyong last Thursday. $6 Bodie Blue, $6 Gaytime Girl. $8 Miss Q, $9 Our Girl Holly. $11 another unraced runner, Dapkos, and $11 Tinker Dan. Now Tinker Dan went hard in the lead with a horse that's in the nightcap tomorrow at Hawkesbury, and he can be expected to get well on the speed. Bodie Blue has shown pace at her 3 runs. Certainly Our Girl Holly raced outside the lead at Warwick Farm and can be expected to get forward here. And Dapkos showed good speed in his trial, and I expected him to come across with Our Girl Holly. Goresbridge should certainly posse up, so it looks keen. The unraced Goresbridge has done nothing wrong in his 3 trials and certainly deserves his position at the head of the market. The interesting aspect of this race is the problem with the form from Warwick Farm. So we've got Bodie Blue at $6 and Our Girl Holly at $9, and I think there's 3 of the horses that ran around them, ran on yesterday at Warwick Farm and did not distinguish themselves in any way. In fact, Ragosa and the stablemate basically held a competition for last. So I suspect that race is exceedingly poor. Gaytime Girl is another interesting runner. She's really done very little in 3 runs, or 4 runs, sorry, but she has been back to the trials and she gets T. Clark. So there's a serious, well, the serious intent there. And I guess she's probably suited, despite coming back in distance, suited by the likely strong tempo in this race. 3 unraced runners in this race. The other 2 are Dabcos and Miss Q, both of whom have given interesting trials, and I certainly include them in the mix. So 2 the horse to get through, and as I say, I'm opposing horses from the Warwick Farm Fillies maiden. Race 3, the distance race for the day, only 6 to go round. $2.30 Estic Raj on the 7-day back up from last week. $2.90 Life of Brian. $8 Paragon, back up in distance. $9 Shelley Girl. $13 Celestial Choice, the roughie is loud enough at $26. Life of Brian appears the designated leader. Shelley's Girl will certainly position up, as will Loud Enough. Ditto Paragon. Celestial Choice not far away, seeming to give Estic Raj the last look at everything. Estic Raj went well enough last week, but the race was put on for him. He was well primed after at his 4th run back, and the speed was right on. Life of Brian, however, has acquitted himself very, very honestly and consistently in his last 2 city runs at a mile at Warwick Farm, and he kept giving in the race won by Pelorus Jack a few weeks ago, and a fortnight ago, sorry, and should be expected to really get his opportunity tomorrow. Shelley's Girl, a Metropolitan winner. Look, she's no great shakes, but she really was given a sound hit out in a fast run Nowra Cup there the other day. I suspect that she's ready to do something. And Celestial Choice is a horse that's having her 4th run for Robert Price. She showed a bit of a turn of foot at Kembla the other day in a mile race. I suspect that she's on a rapid upward improvement. Used to be trained by John Sargent and seems to be doing well away from that establishment. I'd look out for her. But Life of Brian, for me, gets his chance. Estic Raj, an obvious danger, but what you saw last week is what you get. Race 4 is for the 3-year-old fillies over 1500. It's hitting the nightcap of the biggest fields of the day. $3.50 our favourite, Walk the Streets. $5.50 Fournet, last start Kembla maiden winner. $6.50 7th Chic. And then we're at $8 Love Letter. $10 How Sweet It Is. $9.50 Arbelisa. $14 Hittite. $18 Lucienne and Tackareed. Tackareed is a runner that gets well on speed here. I'd expect How Sweet It Is to try and take it up. It's a difficult it's a difficult start to get across, but I suspect that she'll be urged forward. Arbelisa should be on speed, and I had Hittite perhaps midfield. Walk the Streets and 7th Chic. The stablemates shouldn't be too far away. So with the field this size at this sort of start, it won't be loafing in this race. Number 6, Fournet, is the horse that catches my eye here. She's lightly raced, Gerald Ryan trains, veteran of 4 starts. She's had 3 runs back and impressed when resuming, was outpaced second up and then found a race to suit at Kembla last time. She looks an improver. She'll settle back, she'll be given time to balance up, and I think that she'll get over the top of them late. The favourite, Walk the Streets. Look, she's coming back from a Saturday race. She acquitted herself quite well. She went back from a wide draw, found the fence and ran on. I think that's a particularly weak Saturday race. I'm unsure of whether Tommy Berry will actually ride this horse. It's his only ride of the day, and I'm not sure of his current condition. Nevertheless, I mean, Walk the Streets has had 3 runs back from a spell and has done very little wrong. I just query the substance of the form of last start. 7th Chic is on the quick back up. She's 3rd up. Hasn't been seen at this trip. Didn't do a great deal last week. Marked short on connections alone, I think. Whereas Love Letter, who Bowman has forsaken tomorrow, she really found herself in a very awkward position at Warwick Farm last time. That race was the conveyor belt, and I have interest in the winner, who is in the last as well, but Love Letter was in a hopeless position and really couldn't show her wares on that occasion. So I think she's perhaps over the odds at $8. Nothing else to really remark on in the race. Our Belisa has been fair at 3 runs back this time in, and with Gun on board can be expected to feature. That's race 4 for the 3-year-old fillies. I'll be back in part 2 with the last 3 races.